Hi, I'm Melissa. Thanks for tuning in. If you strive for a well-balanced, healthy lifestyle, subscribe now and follow me on Instagram.
Today, I want to talk about the 6 ways that I've changed, like the before and afters, right? So I admit it, I have changed. July 7th, 2011 to now, well, if you haven't changed in 11 years, there's something wrong with you, right? But because of the vertical sleeve gastrectomy, I have changed in 6 serious ways. Now I'm going to list them in no particular order. I have notes in case I forget, right? Um, but it's all like a form of perspective. So, yeah, let's get to it. I think I'm going to sit down. You're going to be cut off? That's better. Okay. So, the first thing, I guess it is a thing. The first thing that has changed from before to now is my self-worth. I think about how I dressed before I had weight loss surgery, how I acted, how I accepted people to treat me a certain way, how they could speak to me. I don't stand for a lot of that now. I dress different. People can't approach me and talk to me any kind of way. Um, yeah, my level of self respect is so much higher. Okay, I gotta look at my notes to see if I'm forgetting anything. Hmm. So I wrote down that it was I was living a sloppy life. So we think about sloppy clothes when we wear baggy clothes, a messy house because I didn't have energy to clean my house, um, promiscuity, just messy. And so with the weight loss surgery and the increase of energy, the house got cleaner, the clothes fit better, and I wouldn't accept mediocrity. Like level up, right? Level up your self-respect and don't just be okay with mediocre. Yeah. Number 2, I had a glass ceiling before weight loss surgery. I don't know if it was a confidence thing or I don't know what I thought was stopping me, but I couldn't see myself as a CEO. I just saw myself working a regular job. Where now, there's no glass ceiling. I can be anything I want to be. I look up professions all the time to see if that's what I want to do. I look at the qualifications and I see what qualifications are needed for that job. I look at the job description and see what qualifications are needed. And then I decide if I want to take the steps necessary to meet those qualifications. And if I do, then I'll become that profession. So it's really a 3-step process for you to decide to become whoever you want to become and do whatever you want to do. So that glass ceiling is smashed. Number 3, I used to binge eat to avoid cravings. Now, what that looks like is I may have had a craving for a cookie or a brownie, we'll say. My mindset was that's not good for me. I'm going to get back to that. So, what I would do is go for something healthy. So, I would make a salad, eat that, was not content. Maybe have a cheese stick, maybe some chips or popcorn. Still not content because I was craving a brownie. And so eventually, after binging on all this random food, starting at the healthiest and progressively getting more unhealthy, I end up having the brownie anyways. So now, when I have a craving, I eat what I'm craving. I don't eat a lot of it. I make a conscious choice to eat the brownie, maybe a half a piece, maybe a whole brownie. But it's not going to be a triple decker brownie with ice cream and five of them, right? So by eating what I'm craving, I'm filling that space. Most of the time, when you crave something, it's your body telling that you need a nutrient, a micronutrient. Um, but, anyways, I'm filling that space, fulfilling my craving, and then being done with it and moving on with life instead of going into a whole whirlwind of food only to have that unhealthy food. So now my whole mindset has changed to where there is no good food, there is no bad food. There's choices of what I choose to eat, and there's consequences to those choices. So if I choose to eat the brownie, I'm probably not going to have any more sweets that day or maybe the next day. Probably going to work out a little bit. You can hear my neighbor dog barking. It's my life here. Um, but these are all choices, and I can have whatever I want to have in moderations because I know what that looks like now. Where before surgery, I didn't know what that looks like. So, number 4, when you're overweight, your body goes through some major wear and tear. So, from the bra straps cutting into your skin, back aches, weight on the knees, weight on your feet, so many things, your joints are not equipped to carry an obese body. God creates us to be a well oiled machine. He creates your body to hold what your body should hold. So, by me not having self respect, beating my body up with food, um, damaging my body through crashes, car accidents, negligent, whatever. Um, my back was bad. And now, through intentional movement and mindful movement, I can exercise and stretch to care for my body. By being at a healthy weight, I'm not putting that wear and tear of excess on my body where it doesn't need it. So I'm honoring my body through intentional movement. And that is a huge difference than what I used to do to my body before weight loss surgery. Yeah. So just a quick note about that. When you're exercising, like obviously you should want to move. You should move because if you don't move it, you lose it. But when you're exercising, if you're getting shooting pains, you should stop. So exercise shouldn't hurt to the point where it's very painful. Yes, you can get tired, exhausted. You could be sore the next day. But if it's shooting pains, do not push yourself past that. If you're trying to achieve an athletic goal, um, or you want to participate in like high extreme boot camps and that type of stuff, um, I would anticipate being injured at some point because I don't know anyone that hasn't experienced an injury that pursues an extreme athletic goal. So I'm at a point in my life where I'm moving to stay healthy. I want my body to be able to move. Um, I am very intentional in my movements because I don't want to be injured. Being hurt is not fun to me. So if you keep a fluid motion consistently and trusting the process, you can be fit. Now, if you want specific goals reached, then yes, you have to go a little harder. And number 5, before having weight loss surgery, every event, family event, holiday, friends, work events, always based around food. And I could hang, I would eat the whole event. But now, and it almost prevented me from wanting to socialize. I think for a while, my visits would be short because I couldn't eat for a long time. So if the event was based on eating, then I couldn't hang. So why stay? So it's truly a perspective change that let the event be the event. Don't focus on the food at the event. And with that, some examples. So for my family events, I focus on my grandkids now. So I will participate more with them and try to stay away from the food. And then at work events, I would focus on a team building event or some kind of game away from the food. So there's different options to still obviously have food at an event because that's what brings in the community, the communion. Um, I heard once that it is the what is it? The most intimate thing is to share a meal with somebody outside of obviously having sex. So so that brings the bonding together, but it doesn't have to be your main focus. So think of ideas and how you can contribute towards events so you're not focusing on food the whole time and still appreciate your community and your socializing because we need that. So the final thing is a difficult topic, but it is a big difference for me. Before July 7th, 2011, I was a bartender for years. I had no alcohol limit. I could eat and drink, drink and eat. I would drink. If I got too drunk, I would eat, bring the buzz down, and go back at it. No alcohol limit. So after having the weight loss surgery, I guess, 11 years ago, it wasn't, transfer addictions weren't talked about. Um, it wasn't common to understand all the different things that happen with the body. So I guess I was part of the guinea pig squad. I don't know. But, anyways, when I would go out, if I chose to drink, then maybe on the third drink, I wouldn't remember anything else. And so, what I was realizing is that I would go out with my friends, have a great time, wake up the next morning, and be missing a huge part of the night. I asked my friends, they couldn't tell a difference in me. So I started putting two and two together. And actually, just recently, I saw a video from a doctor where he kind of explained the reasoning behind this. And it's because when we're losing weight drastically, our liver plays a huge function in processing that fat burning, processing that weight loss. Well, guess what else the liver does? It processes alcohol. So when we drink alcohol, it will take a pause and process the fat and stuff that's going on in our body, and it won't process that alcohol right away. So what was happening is that I would have a drink, my body processed a little bit of it, but not all of it, and I'd have another drink, and then it processed a little bit, but not all of it, and then all of a sudden, boom, it was too late. I was already blacked out. So blackout does not mean passed out. Just so you know, blackout means a memory loss. There's a part of your brain that just, it's like the black wand in Men in Black, where you look at it and you forget everything. That's the part of the brain that was flipping the switch after 3 drinks for me. So now what my life looks like is that I may have a glass of wine before dinner, and then I'll eat, and then I won't drink after. So you have to be super mindful about that. And it's definitely a huge change. It's nothing to be ashamed of because I'm not controlling it, right? I mean, I'm not used to having a limit, and now I can't even have 3 drinks. That's a huge difference. So it's just learning to get used to things. Let's go over these 6 here. Self-respect. Had to learn to have it. No glass ceiling. Had to learn that I could be anything I wanted to be. Binge eating to avoid unhealthy foods. I had to change my whole mindset and honor my body with what I wanted in moderation. Wear and tear on the body. I had to learn how to intentionally move and mindfully move to stay fit, but not injure myself and not let my body rot. Focusing on other things besides food at events. To socialize and not have food be the main focus, but let the event be the main focus. Let the people be the main focus. And then finally, putting an alcohol limit to my alcohol intake. So those are the 6 before and afters. I would love to hear your number one before and after that you've noticed at this point of your journey. Drop it in comments, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.